I recently acquired this clawsing drill press, and I would like to do some maintenance to it. It works, I've used it, but I think it's got a couple bad bearings up top. This thing is really noisy. Let me show you. So the noise you hear in the background is my phase converter. This is a 3-phase unit. So to fire it up, we select our high and low range, and then we've got forward and reverse. It's in low. Flip that to off, we can go to high. And you can hear some grinding. So up here in this unit, we've actually got the back shiv pulley, which is actually connected directly to the motor. That's back there. Then there is this intermediate pulley here. This is also spring loaded. Now, I think where the bad bearing is, I believe it's right here. According to the drawings, there is a bearing underneath this housing, and I do think it is this bearing. Now, it looks like something's been cobbled here. I'm not sure if this is factory. This nut underneath looks like it's been ground down, so I'm not sure if any of that is actually factory. So let's power this up again and take a look at the mechanism up here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the noise is coming from right there. And if I go into high, that's really noisy. Now, if I crank this speed wheel on the front, we can change the speed. I'm gonna go down into low range. Now this actually is a lot quieter than when I originally got it. I dropped a few drops of oil down in there. And that does seem to have made it a little bit quieter, but nonetheless, I think I would like to replace that bearing. Now, unfortunately, the parts manual I found on vintagemachinery.org does not match my serial number. My serial number is 505276. So I am out of the range of this parts diagram. So my parts diagram is gonna be slightly different. So I'm unable to tell if what they had going on up top was a hack job or not. It is very similar to this. I couldn't find one for my serial number. So I'm just gonna pop this piece apart and see if we can figure out what bearings are installed in this unit. This nut looks very homemade. Looks like a regular nut that they've ground the corners off of. I'm not sure if that's factory. The instructions say to remove belt guard housing, and then this whole front piece comes off. Oh boy, this screw down here wasn't even in all the way. It was ready to fall out. There was probably only a good couple threads there showing. Looks like they got some never sees in there. Ah, I'm getting dirty. Unreal. I can't work in these conditions. This one was pretty tight. That other one was backed all the way out. Hey, this also had some never sees in it. Good on you, whoever maintained this last. So now this should come right off. Yeah, no problem. All right, now this assembly can come off. All right, I find this neat and just have to share this. Check it out, there's 3 belts here. 3 individual belts, not just one big fat one. I thought that was just one big fat one, but no, it's 3 little individual ones. Cool. All right, now the instructions say to take this full pedestal off, and actually I see there is a bolt missing here. So this whole front piece is only held on with this one screw right here. It says to remove this. I'm sure I've got another one of these floating around somewhere. So that's off. Oh yeah, that whole mechanism is wibbly wobbly now. I should actually be able to just lift that whole thing off now. Oh, but I can't because it's caught under that belt. think if I loosen this, ooh, that's tight. Now I should be able to rotate this up out of the way maybe. Oh no, but that gives me a ton more freedom now. Now I should be able to, oh, so close. I'm gonna back that nut off even further. Oh, if I take the nut off, I should be able to slide it out. There we go. There we go. Key in there. Yeah, that bearing doesn't sound the best. So there's how you change the belt. And that bearing sounds just fine. I wonder if it's this bearing that's making the noise. Yeah, definitely. How do you change this bearing? I'm fairly convinced it's this bearing that's actually bad, not that one. It's definitely got a catch in it every revolution. So I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can get whatever this weird adapter up top is. I don't understand why it's shaped like, why would it have this in the side? I don't understand that. Unless that was like for a catch so this doesn't spin. I don't know. All right, let's go get this on the bench, see if we can get it apart. All right, so these up on top are tapped for 5/16 course. So I got a couple bolts here. And I'm hoping we just tighten down on these. This was all just a press fit. Oh, I think that's already coming off. It's not on there very tight. Yeah, that's already coming out. Yeah, that's definitely doing the job. I just need a little bit longer bolts. I think I might just try doing this with 2. See if that works. Geez, I don't know if these are gonna be long enough. These are the longest I've got that are threaded that far. Oh, so close. See the bearings starting to pop out the bottom. But that's about all we got for threads. Not close enough. I got these 5/16 carriage bolts, and then I'll just take this smaller wrench and hook it on the square underneath. There we go. That is an NSK 6207. 6207. Looks like we've got a little bit of a shim pack in there. Well, whatever. So long as it was working, that's all I care. This machine is 60 years old. I guess I'll probably have a few shims at 60 years old too. So I took this little bearing out of the speed adjustment assembly. Wasn't anything spectacular, just a snap ring, and it pressed right out pretty easy. And this is definitely the culprit. This is the bad bearing. Now, this one, I mean, it's probably fine, but I'm just gonna replace it. It does have a little bit of a, it does have a bit of a nick in it every revolution. So I'm here, new bearing ain't that much, so let's replace both of these. So here we are a week later, got some new bearings. So match them up. Little one looks pretty good, pretty much the same. Bores are the same. So yep, these are a match. And I was able to find this big one too. Looks like a match to me as well. And the internal bores, yep, they look the same. So looks like we're good to go here. So let's get this bearing off. So I found this little piece of round steel in the scrap pile. It's got a hole in it, and it fits right down inside that bore and contacts the shaft quite nicely. And I want that hole there to contact a puller. This bolt was missing when I got the machine. It's actually a 7/16 bolt. I didn't have many of these around, so I had this one. I'm just gonna use it. It's gonna be good enough. I don't need a socket head cap screw here. Now on top of this mechanism was this washer, and this thing is just wore razor thin on the outside. Not really sure what its function is other than just a washer. I wonder if the previous bearing, like the original bearing, I wonder if maybe that wasn't sealed and this was like a dust guard for it. I'm not sure. It was there, I'm gonna put it back, and I'm just gonna reuse their custom ground nut here. This second one is just a lock nut. All right, my phase converter is running in the background. Let's flip this to low speed and forward. Well, it is slightly quieter. Sounds like there's a lot of rubbing back here. Well, at least up here doesn't sound like a bag of hammers anymore. Well, there we go. That's fixed and ready to be used. There's still a lot of noise from the back shiv pulley. I don't think it's the bearing in the motor. I think it's the belt rubbing on some of the rust that may be inside of that shiv. So hopefully that clears up. Otherwise, we can take that shiv apart later and see if we can clean that up. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.